just want to say that you're a star for beading and taking the time to check out my tutorial on how to make this You're a Star pendant. I'm Sherry here at the Little Beading Closet. Let me go ahead and show you the supplies that you'll need to make one. Starting right here, you will need a 12mm cushion cut fancy stone, 3mm bugle beads, size 15 seed beads, size 11 seed beads. These are 2mm gemstones and garnet, 4 of the Vexolo beads, and 1 4mm wire guard. You can see all these beads and so many more in my Eureka Crystal Beads Designer Picks Girlfriend's Getaway video on Eureka Crystal Beads YouTube channel. You can find a link to this and all the supplies down below in the video description. I suggest using an 8-pound fire lining crystal on a size 12 beading needle. Begin with the size 11 seed beads and 2mm faceted gemstone rounds. Begin by picking up 6 of the seed beads. Bring them down near the end of your thread and then needle back through all the beads, pulling them into a loop, adding a knot to pull this all tight. Needle a few beads past this knot until you have a bead on the top and bottom and 2 on each side. And you can trim off the tail. Now we'll be picking up 12 of the 2mm round gemstones with a size 11 seed bead in between each one. So you pick up a gemstone and a seed bead. Continue picking up the combination until you end with a gemstone, and then needle back through the seed bead here that your thread is exiting. Then needle through 3 of the crystals and 3 of the seed beads. And we want another cluster of seed beads like this right here. Pick up 5 seed beads and needle back through the seed bead that your thread is exiting, pulling those together. Needle through 3 crystals and 3 seed beads again. So you're exiting a seed bead, 5 more seed beads through the seed bead that your thread is exiting, and bring those into place. Again, needle through 3 crystals and 3 seed beads, and add the 5 seed beads through the one that your thread is exiting. You'll have this semi-square shape. We want to come down here to the seed bead, needling through 2, and then 1 more. Now you need your bugle beads and size 15 seed beads. You'll need to pick up a 15 bugle bead and 1 more 15 and come through this point here at the end and repeating this pattern, coming through the point, size 11, adding the 3rd bugle bead set through here, and just 1 more set, coming back through the point size 11 where we started, and with the square here on the bottom, let's retrace it 1 time. Just needle back through your 15s, bugles, 15s and 11s on the bottom. Square here 1 time, pulling your thread tight until you get all the way around. End by coming back through one of the size 11s, and then come up the next 2 towards the top. So now we're going to set the cushion cut stone in here. We want to set it in this direction where the points of the stone sit on top of the bugle beads. Now we want to come to the top and come through the beads until we exit the third seed bead, coming through the seed bead that's part of this group of 5, through the next gemstone and seed bead, and one more. So you're exiting the seed bead before this one. Pick up a 15, your 2mm round and a 15, and needle through the next seed bead, past that group of 5, pulling the corner together, and then through one more round and seed bead. So you're exiting the seed bead on top before the group of 5, adding the 15, 2mm and 15 through here, and pulling those tight. And we're going to do that 2 more times. 15, 2mm and 15, skipping the one seed bead from the group of 5, and then coming through the 11, 2mm round and 11, cinching in that corner. Just one more time. Again, picking up the beads, skipping the one that connects to the bottom, and needling through these 3. Pulling those on top of the stone. Really such a lovely little bezel. I'm going to needle through a few more beads, kind of retracing the top. Just bringing in everything really tight. Then we're going to work on adding the Vexolo beads that really give it the star shape. So here on the top of the bezel, we're going to work our way to the size 11, needling through the gemstone and that 11. Now that we're exiting the size 11, we're going to be making the star shape using bugle beads, Vexolo beads, and size 11 seed beads. Begin by picking up a bugle bead and a seed bead. Then you're going to be picking up one of the Vexolo beads, and you want to pick up at the wide end, coming through like this, where it's going to sit against the bezel. And they're flat on one side, that is considered the back, and we want the top, which is sort of pyramid shaped, to sit on top. And then one more seed bead and bugle bead. You're going to be needling through the next size 11 that sits at the top of your group of 5. They're going to sit along the edge, repeating that 3 more times. The bugle bead, seed bead, Vexolo seed bead and bugle bead combination, coming through the next size 11 that sits at the top of a group of 5, and pulling those along the side, just making sure the Vexolo sits with the top side up. Repeat that again, always coming through the size 11 that sits at the group of 5, and pulling those along the side. One more time, coming back through the 11 where the first bugle bead was, pulling those into place, and then needle through one more bugle bead and seed bead, and then step through the Vexolo bead and needle through the empty hole at the top of it, and then pick up one seed bead and one bugle bead, needle down through the seed bead and bugle bead that are already in place, pulling that tight, and then needle through the 11, needle up through the next bugle bead and 11, picking up one more bugle bead in size 11, needle through the point of the Vexolo, one more seed bead and bugle bead, down through the next seed bead and bugle bead, and then through the 11. Just continue adding your bugle beads and seed beads around to the top. Continue until you're all the way around, and then add the last 2. And I suggest, if you want to use a wire guard, following this bead path around until you come through the next Vexolo bead. Just retracing the bead path. I've needled around to the next Vexolo, and then I'll attach the wire guard here and come back through your Vexolo bead, and then retrace the wire guard a couple of times, and then needle down a few beads and end off your thread here on the back. Through the 11 and a few more beads, and then I'll needle underneath the bugle bead and through the loop, pulling a half hitch knot between the size 15 and bugle bead, and then come through another bugle bead and trimming off my tail. I opened up the ring at the bottom of my ear wire. I'm going to attach this here, close it back up, and they make a beautiful pair of earrings, perfect for yourself or for giving to your friend to let them know how much of a star you think they are. As always, I hope you have a beautiful day and fun on your next girlfriend's getaway.